Have you ever heard about a painting so cursed that anyone who looked into its eyes either went insane or died within days? This is the lost legend of King Aldemar of Castovia, a ruler whose pride led him to create a portrait that even death refused to touch. In the late 15th century, in the forgotten kingdom of Castovia, there lived a ruler feared by all, King Aldemar the Proud. His empire stretched across golden fields and ancient mountains, but his hunger for power was endless. He believed no man could ever match his greatness, and so he wanted the world to remember him, not through words or monuments, but through a single painting that would capture his glory forever. Aldemar once said to his courtiers, "Stone crumbles, stories fade, but a painting, if made perfect, will never die." But perfection came with a price. In that era, there was one artist whose skill was unmatched, Master Roderick of Varon, a man known for painting souls, not faces. His work seemed alive, his portraits almost breathed. When Aldemar heard about him, he summoned Roderick to the royal palace. The painter arrived trembling, for he knew the king's reputation. Aldemar was known to execute those who disappointed him. "Paint me as I truly am," the king commanded, "but make sure the world sees my power, my eternal presence." Roderick bowed and began his work. But what he didn't know was that the king's soul was darker than his crown. The painting began under candlelight in the great hall, a place where no one else was allowed to enter. The room was silent except for the soft scratch of Roderick's brush. Days turned to weeks. Servants whispered that strange lights flickered from beneath the door. Some claimed they heard voices, as if two men were speaking, though Roderick was alone. At times, the painter's hands trembled. He told the guards outside that he felt something standing behind him, breathing. When he looked back, there was nothing. Only the king's half-finished eyes staring from the canvas. By the third month, Roderick's appearance had changed. His eyes grew hollow, and his voice shaky. When asked what was wrong, he whispered, "The painting watches me. It remembers my every move." He began painting at night only, saying the daylight made the king's face look wrong, almost monstrous. And then came the night when he screamed. The guards rushed in, but the moment they did, every candle in the room went out. The only light that remained was from the painting itself, faint, eerie, and alive. When the lights returned, Roderick was on the floor, trembling. "It's done," he whispered. "But it's not him. It's something else." Aldemar ordered the portrait unveiled before his court. As the red velvet curtain lifted, a heavy silence fell. The painting was extraordinary, lifelike beyond imagination. But there was something wrong, something terrifying. Aldemar's face in the portrait was not proud, not noble. It was old, cruel, and filled with shadows. His eyes glowed faintly, like embers waiting to consume everything. The courtiers gasped. One servant dropped his torch and fled. "What have you done?" Aldemar roared. Roderick knelt, trembling. "Majesty, it is you. The portrait only shows what lies within." That night, Roderick was found dead in his chambers. His eyes were wide open, his hands twisted, as if frozen in terror. No one knew how he died. His heart had stopped, but there were no wounds. Some said he had gone mad. Others whispered that something had climbed out of the painting to claim him. Aldemar ordered the body buried without a name. He forbade anyone from mentioning the painter again. But the curse had already begun. From that day, no laughter echoed in Castovia's halls. Servants began vanishing one by one. Some were found wandering the palace gardens, murmuring nonsense, eyes blank. Others were never found at all. Those who survived claimed they'd seen movement in the king's portrait. A flicker, a shadow, a smile that wasn't there before. The king ordered the painting sealed inside a golden chamber. But even then, strange noises came from within, whispers, knocks, and sometimes faint laughter. Aldemar stopped meeting people. He shattered every mirror in the palace, claiming his reflection was watching him. As months passed, Aldemar became paranoid. He refused to sleep at night, fearing the eyes of his own portrait. He ordered the room sealed with iron locks and blessed by priests. Yet one night, guards heard screams from the king's chamber. When they broke in, they found Aldemar sitting before the painting, whispering to it. His eyes were hollow, his crown lay on the ground, and blood dripped from his hand. He had tried to tear the canvas apart, but the fabric refused to rip. In a trembling voice, he muttered, "It knows me. It owns me now." Not long after, a great plague swept through the land. Crops failed, rivers turned black, and the people fled. Some said it was the curse, the portrait draining life from the kingdom itself. When the royal guards entered the locked hall, they found the king's throne empty. The painting now showed Aldemar standing behind himself. Two figures, one real, one cursed. The king was never seen again. Only his crown remained, lying beneath the portrait. Centuries later, in 1782, explorers discovered the ruins of Castovia. Deep inside a collapsed hall, they found the sealed golden chamber. Inside, there was no throne, no king, only a canvas covered in dust. But when the light hit it, the portrait looked freshly painted. The figure inside was smiling, and his eyes seemed to follow the men around the room. Two of the explorers reportedly went mad within days. The third disappeared on the voyage home. The painting was never seen again. Historians dismissed the tale as myth, but records from nearby kingdoms mention Aldemar's name disappearing from every royal document, as if history itself wanted to erase him. One surviving letter from a monk wrote, "The king sought to capture eternity, but eternity captured him instead." To this day, some say the portrait still exists, hidden deep beneath the ruins of Castovia, in a vault no man dares to open. So, if you ever find yourself wandering through forgotten castles, and you see a painting older than time, one that seems almost alive, look away, because legends say, once you meet its gaze, it begins painting you, and just like King Aldemar, your story will never end.